Hi, everybody, and welcome to another video about recruiter enablement. I'm here with Rob Lewis. Rob, thanks very much for taking the time to come and join me. And who are you and what do you do?
Hello, I'm Rob Lewis. I'm the Talent Attraction Manager at BDO. So we're one of the largest accounting firms in the world. My role is around kind of supporting recruiters in their day-to-day, as well as attracting meaningful candidates to work for BDO. I'm kind of more ex-FMCG, so worked for a number of different FMCG companies in the past. This is my first foray into accounting and second-ish to B2B as well.
Yeah, great. I'm not sure if I've ever told you this, but I really love BDO. BDO was my customer from 2009 till about 2015. I know the firm pretty well. I know professional services quite well. Anyway,
Good to
so
know.
what's
If you want a
recruiter?
job, just let us know.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, just like get somebody to tap me up
Yeah.
with the right type of outreach messaging, and we'll
There you
think
go.
about it. Okay, so on that note, what's recruiter enablement to you?
For me, I think recruiter enablement is a couple of things. It's the literally giving recruiters the option to do their job effectively. So that's what's the right inventory you need, what's the right message you need, the day-to-day reality of being basically a salesperson for the business, equipping them for that. I think the other piece, which is hopefully a growing need or kind of having a bit more focus, is around educating recruiters on marketing as a whole and how that plays a part in the direct sourcing strategy.
Yeah. Okay. So it's giving them things, and it is educating them on how to use those things or how to create their own things, or
Well, as soon as you say create your own, that sort of scares many people. But I
yeah.
think there's a degree of creative license we want to give people, right? And recruiters are having to do things authentically. They're having to use the concept, the messages to sell that story to a candidate. So I encourage people to come up with their most meaningful tweak on a message where appropriate. But I think it is both that in terms of use your creative license, but also you can't use your creative license if we're not giving you the right guidelines, or we're not giving you the right rails to go down, or the right asset to use, the right message to apply. So I guess it's a phrase that I use from back in my Kellogg days is freedom within a framework is what recruiter enablement is probably a good summary for.
Yes, great. Okay, so could you tell me about like some of the things that you either currently do or that you're thinking about doing, and like generally, how should we be landing all this?
I think, do you know what? Like a really obvious thing to say is having conversations. And I think I come at this from experience in a few different companies where recruitment or talent acquisition, however you call it, and employer brand talent attraction can be very disparate functions. So what I found particularly in BDO is, having those conversations on a regular basis, making people aware of what you're working on, what's the need right now. It sounds super simple, but it really helps drive both the need for recruiter enablement and also the opportunities that you can influence.
Yeah.
So number one, talk. Let's be real. Number two, I think one-stop shop is a phrase I seem to use quite a lot, and you and I spoke about this a little bit before, but there are probably so many different things flying around that a recruiter can tap up or can use. LinkedIn Learning, maybe some PowerPoint presentations from 3 years ago, maybe some social tiles that were created by the comms team. Consolidate all of that, put it in a single place. We've just launched a talent attraction portal, which is a place where recruiters can go in at any moment of the day, find the most up-to-date information, find the most meaningful message for them, find the campaigns that we're working on, download that. You don't need to wait for Rob to reply. You don't need to raise a ticket. It's there, it's available. So I guess it's going back to that concept of freedom within a framework. The framework is the talent attraction portal. You've got all the stuff you need. Freedom is go off and use that. You tap that up into your networks. I think the other thing is probably goes back to that kind of conversation point, but it's also planning as well. Plan with the teams. Again, I've experienced examples where the talent attraction / employer brand team will go off and launch a great campaign, but it's not had any conversation with the recruiters. You've never planned what their needs are. So it's planning and involvement around that. And I guess sub-layer of that is understanding the audience needs. You can't enable the recruiters or support the recruiters if you don't know what their hiring needs are, what their audience needs are. So
Yeah.
we put a lot of emphasis on, what are the talent personas you need to be searching for? What's the channel for those particular audiences you need to do? And as part of our current planning process, we've involved the recruiters in all those conversations. We've done data gathering with them to understand what that looks like, because otherwise you're working on completely separate objectives.
Yeah. That's a great point. So things like personas, if you're able to build those personas and keep them within that one-stop shop so that recruiters can make use of those, they're going to be doing some outreach messaging to a group of people. They want to know, like, what's our insights about these type of people? What's the first opening message that might get them to open the email or like keep reading on and then reply? Then that's really great. So you're hiring at a firm like BDO, you're hiring like most of the people you're hiring is in-demand talent. They're in demand from your competitors,
Yep.
let alone other companies in industry and all that sort of thing. How do you think about those personas? Is it you can't build a persona for the, I don't know, SEO executive job that you hire once every 2.5 years? It's for the more regular hire roles, I guess. Do you think about it in terms of like the skills that they've got or the like levels that they're working at, like the years of experience they have, that type of thing? What are the sort of things that people should think about?
So firstly, you've got to be cruel to be kind, and we can't create personas for every single job under the sun, right? And so we've had to be exclusive and say these are the ones that have the volume, the time to hire, the difficulty, the attrition. Like that's what we're going to focus on. What we're trying to do as a business is focus more on that skill set of the future. And I've had a few conversations with people external to BDO around how do we position that externally so that we're not just putting random job titles out there? Is, I have these skills, therefore I'm going to suit that role. So I think for us, what we've done in terms of those kind of data gathering exercises is work with our internal workforce planning team, understand what the planning needs might be, use things like LinkedIn Insights, talent insights. What are we seeing across the marketplace that influences some of that? There's the age-old thing about what does a JD say, what does a job advert say, because if your skills don't match the actuality of coming into the business, there's a discrepancy. But yeah, for us, it's, I guess we approach it in terms of how are we going to target those people? It's probably going to be based on their skill set and their kind of niche need versus a job title at BDO could be completely different at another accounting firm. So
Yeah.
for us, it's definitely about the skills versus the I guess the company they're coming from or the kind of job title they may have, because that could mean anything.
Yeah. Great. Lots of learnings today from you. Thank you for that. The two big ones for me are one-stop shop in your world, talent attraction portal, and freedom within a framework. I absolutely love that. So that's giving them things, but also giving them the education to be able to go and use their own flair to make use of this.
I'll give you a third just for a sprinkle of good measure, and it's
Please.
work out loud. And this is, again, going back to that bit around having the conversations, involving people with the planning process. Very easy to get your head down and use your expertise to, oh, you'll need these total job credits, or oh, you'll need this, whatever. Work out loud, tell people what you're doing, expect them to work out loud back at you, so that you can create a combined strategy.
Absolutely love that. I've often for a long time now, I've encouraged people that I work with, whether it's customers or people in my teams, to sort of show your workings. So I'm going to do this. Here's why I'm thinking about doing it like this, rather than just going and if you don't sort of explain why you're doing it or why you're thinking about doing it, then people don't necessarily have the ability to give you something extra or give you like a warning from something they've done.
Yep.
And it creates a much more collaborative sort of environment, I think, when you're working out loud. So I absolutely love that.
There we go.
Rob, thanks so much for joining me today. It's been
No
great
problem.
to talk to you, and looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Lovely stuff. Cheers, Adam.